What's going on, Gem and Knights? It's your boy Gem Gordon. We're here with the new comic book day reviews for Wednesday, March 10th. We're going to go through today's new comics as spoiler-free as possible. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss one of these videos. And we're giving away a Spider-Man Premium Format exclusive statue by Sideshow Collectibles once we hit our next subscriber milestone of 125,000. Stay tuned until the end of the video, and I'll tell you what you got to do to enter. Let's start off with a book that I was shorted on last week. This is The Demon Days X-Men by Peach Momoko. I enjoyed this story. It kind of reminded me of like Usagi Yojimbo. Had a very artsy style in this kind of Elseworlds tale of Psylocke with her wolf dog Logan fighting against this Orochi or Great Snake Venom, and having Onis and townspeople and all that kind of stuff. So a nice little like one-shot what if, although it looks like they might be continuing this saga with a Dead Days Mariko. So little book I missed last week. It was cool. All right, then we have Daredevil Issue 28, Chip Zdarsky, Chichetto, and Menez, one of my favorite titles on the stands right now. This seems to take place after King in Black, although it doesn't spoil anything. Still have Daredevil locked in jail, and he's kind of really asking himself, is he doing the right thing here? So kind of interesting to see how long he's going to stay locked up. I thought they had some really good scenes with Kingpin and Typhoid Mary here. I think Chichetto really showed a lot of emotion in Kingpin. Art style's great as always, and definitely digging the Daredevil run. Next up, we have Immortal Hulk 44 by Al Ewing, Bennett, Jose, Bravo, and Mounts. Basically, this was just a big fight between Hulk and the UFOs. Very flashy though. I like the colors. I like all the dynamic stuff that was going on in this issue. I'm really sick of seeing this weakling of a Hulk. I want to see him beef up again and just whoop everyone's ass, because right now he's just getting his ass handed to him, and I just want to see him bounce back. Interesting where it left off and where Hulk is now, so we'll see where it goes, man. All right, then we have Eternals Issue 3. This is by Kieran Gillen, Asad Ribic, and Matthew Wilson. Not really an exciting issue, kind of letting us know what's been going on with Thena. We've seen a lot with Icarus in the first couple of issues, so Thena and kind of her relationship with deviants and how she takes deviant lovers, and her father and the Eternals don't like it. So kind of just more backstory with her, and there's this murder mystery going down that she almost looks guilty of with her father being murdered. So not much went down, but still enjoying the series. Then we have Nonstop Spider-Man Issue 1 by Joe Kelly, Chris Bachalo, Tim Townsend, and Marcio Menez. And Nonstop Spider-Man for sure, man. This book is so fast-paced. The way that the paneling is slanted, and it just feels like everything's rushing at you. It seems to be canon. It seems to be Peter in college, post-Parker Industries, and he's got this friend, Kelly, and there's this drug on the street that seems to be affecting people close to them that aren't really drug users. So that's kind of what's going on here. Super fast paced, like you feel like it's an adrenaline rush reading this issue. All right, then we have Children of the Atom Issue 1, Vita Ayala, Bernard Chang, and Marcelo Maiolo. So I had low expectations for this book because the cover art made me think this was going to be like some kind of knockoff imposter team of the X-Men, but I really enjoyed this issue. I thought it was really solid. It's kind of an oversized issue, and yeah, there are these teen mutants that are still operating in New York City. They didn't go to Krakoa, they didn't answer the call, and the X-Men kind of want to know what's up with them, you know, especially because they're operating kind of out in the open, low budget. The main character, her name is Buddy, something like that. It's kind of like the leader of them all, and then you have the other characters making their suits and making alterations and stuff like that. So unclear as to why they look like other X-Men. Maybe they have similar power, so they just made similar costumes. But we do get a little hint as to why they really didn't go to Krakoa, although they're just telling the X-Men they have family and friends and school and that kind of stuff. I think they did a really good job of showing some character depth as well when you go into their personal lives. So that was kind of interesting. So, hey, love to be pleasantly surprised. All right, then we have Taskmaster 4 by McKay, Vitti, and Guru EFX. I really love this run. This Taskmaster run is so fun. I catch myself laughing out loud to some of Taskmaster's dialogue. This time he's going for his third and final operative, or whatever you want to call it, his task, where he's got to basically analyze this character. It's one of the characters from Wakanda, so he has to drop in. He fights some Wakandan soldiers, some White Panthers, if you will. They have like this white costume. And really fun fast-paced, action-packed issue with great dialogue. All right, then we have Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood. This is issue 4, and these have 3 short stories in there. So you have writers like Thompson, Kelly Thompson, Randolph, Ed Brisson. Then you have artists like Kirk, DeKnight, Sequeira Jr., and Mosa. Really, really like these issues. They take place after key issues, or they take place after classic X-Men issues. So it'll say something like, this takes place right after Uncanny X-Men 137. Love the Mystique issue, super cool. This is right when Rogue left her and joined the X-Men. She left the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. You had another story with Wolverine and Sauron in the Savage Land. And then you had, I'm drawing a blank on what the second story was. But the artwork is great, black and white with little hints of red everywhere. Great artwork and fun little bite-sized Wolverine stories. All right, after Marvel, we have Boom Studios, issue 5 of Mighty Morphin. This almost got my pick of the week. I really, really dug this issue. So in the previous issue, we found out who's behind the new Green Ranger. In this issue, we find out who the new Green Ranger is, why he was chosen, what did he show to these people to make them feel like he could hold the mantle of Green Ranger and basically use the power of their power coin. Not only do we find out who the new Green Ranger is, but he unmasks himself a la Spider-Man Civil War style at the end. So I'm definitely interested to see the implications of that. As always, love the artwork, big bright colors, very flashy, very fast paced, my kind of book. Then we have a new God of War book by Dark Horse. This is Fallen God by Chris Robinson, Tony Parker, and Dave Raposa. It was an okay issue. Not much happened. It's a pretty fast-paced book. Not a lot of dialogue. Kratos just wandering around. He seems to be trying to escape from the swords, his 2 flaming swords. By the time he finally passes out from exhaustion, they always end up right there when he wakes up. And I'm not really sure what's going to happen here. It doesn't really set anything up in this issue besides the fact that he seems to be trying to get away from, I guess, those swords and whatever that means. So we'll pick up issue 2 and see where it goes. All right, moving over to DC, we have Rorschach Issue 6, Tom King, Jorge Fornes, and Dave Stewart. Really dug this issue. They went back to that Steve Ditko archetype character that they introduced in like issue 2 or so, and his relationship with our main character. I forget, is her name Laura? Kind of very Steve Ditko-ish. She's writing him letters, he's writing back, because Steve always wrote everyone back that wrote to him. And almost kind of like how he influenced her to do what she did and to pick up this mission, you know, to recruit a Rorschach and to fight against this, you know, the possible squid invasion. So it was a dope issue. All right, then we have Superman 29. I figured I'd pick Superman up again as it's part of Infinite Frontier. It's got a new creative team, Johnson, Hester, Gapster, and Hi-Fi. It was a pretty good issue. This was kind of like a story about parenting and how you always want to protect your children, but they're really not safe under your wing, or they get old enough to see you fail or to get hurt or something along those lines. So Superman with his son Jonathan Kent, he's from the future, the 31st century, where the Legion of Superheroes are from. And basically we're at the Superman's end days here, and Jonathan Kent knows this, and he's seeing what's unfolding because this happened in the history books in his future. So it was a cool issue. I think it's worth continuing to read. It's kind of got like a John Romita Jr. art style to it. Good coloring though, nice and bright, and a pretty quick issue. Same thing with Wonder Woman 770, part of Infinite Frontier, new creative team. Cloonan, Conrad Moore, and Bon Villain has a backup story featuring young Diana by Belair, Ganacho, and Goad. I'm really happy that I picked up this book and gave it a shot. Love this issue. Played a lot with Norse mythology, Wonder Woman with Asgardians, Valhalla, Ragnarok, Thor, and Wonder Woman, she's dead. In Infinite Frontier, she's dead. She's living in Valhalla, where they battle every day, they get killed every day, they come back to life, and they drink and feast in the halls of Valhalla at the end of every night. Then they wake up and do it all over again. Although someone seems to be speaking to her as she's being resurrected every day and kind of explaining to her what's really going on here, why she doesn't really remember her past life and she remembers it less and less with every day, why she doesn't have her same powers. She befriends somebody, Siegfried here, Siggy she calls him, and everything seems to be good until it's not. Some people are no longer being resurrected. People aren't showing up, so she's now going back into hero mode to find them. Really dug this issue. I thought it was a great start to a new run. All right, then we have Batman Urban Legends. This is a book that has 4 stories. You have Chip Zdarsky doing the main story. Then there's a Grifter story, a Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy story, and an Outsider story. So very similar to Future State. They kind of crammed 4 issues into this trade paperback sized book that probably has a $10 cover price on it. I think it does. It's on the back. The Chip Zdarsky story was great. It was a Red Hood story, kind of similar to Nonstop Spider-Man. There's this new drug in town, Red Hood operating solo, but trying not to kill people using rubber bullets, using Oracle, just like Batman is using Oracle, but they're not working together. So great dialogue between Batman and Alfred talking about Jason and, you know, why he is the way he is and what happened. Really cool stuff with Red Hood saving this little boy. His mother overdosed and they go to find his father. It was a great story. The other stories I didn't really care for too much. The Harley Quinn Poison Ivy story just felt like this one shot, kind of an issue that reminded me of the Amanda Conner, Jimmy Palmiotti run. Then you had an Outsider story, which was very forgettable. I don't even really remember what happened. Katana with Black Lightning on a boat or something. And the Grifter story as well. The Grifter story, I found myself kind of laughing out a little bit. Almost felt like a little Ace Ventura when Ace goes to the party and he's trying to dress up fancy. Grifter is being hired as a bodyguard, but he's super sloppy and like obvious that he's the grifter. Anyway, I didn't really love it, but there were some parts that I enjoyed. All right, and then we're gonna go to the pick of the week. Guys, Joker #1 by James Tynion IV with March and Prianto. Also has a backup story with Punchline, which takes place after her one-shot. That's by Tynion, Johns, Adolfo, and Ferraro Jr. Man, love this story. So this takes place after what they're calling A-Day, Joker's latest attack on Arkham Asylum, which seems to have a new strain of Joker toxin that doesn't make them laugh. They silently die in their grotesque smiles and faces. Commissioner Jim Gordon, he's at the bar. One of his old colleagues says something to him like, hey, do you believe in evil? And basically talks about, you know, that one perp that got away, that evil person that got away who haunts your dreams every night. And then, you know, Jim Gordon realizes that Joker is his white whale, you know, and he gets offered to basically hunt down the Joker for this millionaire or whoever. So kind of interesting. You know, he's not one to take a bribe, but he kind of convinces himself like, man, it is my responsibility to take down the Joker. And that's kind of where we're going with that. The Punchline story was great too, man. Picks up right where we left off. She's in jail and she's not as vulnerable as one might think. She tried to play this whole thing on social media as she was the victim, but it seems like she's not really helpless in jail. So they have a trial going on with her. She's trying to get cleared of any wrongdoing during Joker War. And overall, just a solid issue with both stories. Definitely deserves pick of the week. Let me know what you guys thought about today's new comics in the comments down below. Like I said, hit that subscribe and that notification bell. We're doing the giveaway for the Spider-Man premium format statue once we hit 125,000 subscribers. All you got to do is be subscribed and comment on this video to get entered into the giveaway. When we hit the milestone, I'll pick a random video where I promoted the giveaway and we'll go live and use a random YouTube comment generator to draw a worldwide winner. Also, check out our partners over at Street Level Hero at slhla.com. They just dropped 2 Silk 1 variants, as well as a slew of other stuff like Aliens, Emma Frost, Carnage Black, White, and Blood, and more. Use the code GemMint to save 10% every time you shop there, and that's good for any item in the store. I appreciate you guys watching, but don't go anywhere. Check out my other new comic book day reviews in the playlist to the right, and stay minty fresh. Peace.